track with crude now at around $84 a barrel. So that is everything that we're tracking for the markets. But Rima, L&T Tech is one stock which I was just mentioning, and it's a sharp cut coming through there. We also have the management.
Absolutely. So first, let's just tell our viewers the news. Now, L&T Technology Services is, the company has announced that it will be acquiring Smart World and Communication business of its parent company, L&T. This acquisition will help L&T Technology strengthen its global reach across next-gen communication, which basically means 5G, sustainable spaces, and cybersecurity. Amit Chadha, the MD and CEO of L&T Technology Services, is now with us on the show now. Amit, morning, and thanks so much for joining in. This is Rima here. You've given an indication of what the synergies, the rationale for the acquisition is. To understand the financials, Smart World and Communication, calling it SWC, could you tell us what the margins of this business are and how would it compare with the margins of L&T Tech? Would this acquisition be margin and EPS dilutive for you?
So before I swing directly to the margins, I do want to take a couple of minutes and talk about the business itself. So if you look at what we've been seeing with our clients that we've been talking to across US and Europe and parts of Asia, is there is a strong demand momentum for electrification, energy transition, 5G rollouts. There's a demand for service-led models for efficient campuses, cities, utilities, mobility, public safety, and of course, cybersecurity, right? In fact, another just data point for you that the $1.6 trillion of engineering spend in 2021 was led by manufacturing 51%, or manufacturing companies, expected to, by 2025, go to $2.3 trillion, with 58% coming from high-tech and services. So that has been the rationale that we have taken to go ahead and acquire this business. I would like to confirm that in the medium term, this will be margin accretive and EPS accretive. But as you would agree with me, with such a large transaction at about 1,000 crore rupees, about 110, 120 odd million dollars, with EBITDA of 8 to 10%, in the immediate term, there could be a little bit of a dilution, but medium term, we are reaffirming our guidance of this being margin accretive.
So you're saying that in the immediate term, this acquisition will be margin and EPS dilutive, and in the medium term, it will be accretive for you. Could you define what you mean by immediate? What is medium term? When do you think the margins of SWC can catch up with that of LTTS?
So I would say immediate term, as we define it, is a 1 year period. Medium term for me would be between a 2 to 3 year period. See, if you remember, Rima, we had committed, and I'm reaffirming that, we had committed in September 21 that we would be $1 billion run rate by FY23 Q2, Q3. We delivered that in constant currency in Q2. We had committed to an 18% EBIT trajectory, and we were able to achieve that right somewhere in that FY22 range, right? We didn't have to come to FY25 for that. We are reaffirming our 1.5 billion guidance by FY25 and being in that 18% range in the same period in EBIT terms. So EBITDA, of course, is higher.
So you reiterated the FY25 guidance. We understand that it's at $1.5 billion and 18% EBIT margins. But considering that this acquisition will straight away add about 13-14% to your top line, is there a case to advance your guidance?
Rima, what I can confirm to you is FY25, some point, it may well happen in the first quarter. If we can do it sooner, we will do it sooner. I am absolutely optimistic about the prospects this brings to us. Being able to design complete networks, being able to, provide an end-to-end cybersecurity offering, as well as tapping into investments that people are making in sustainable spaces, I believe can help us leap forward growth. So this is a forward-looking acquisition that we have made at this stage, the biggest one that we have done to date.
All right, you're confident on what this acquisition will bring to L&T Tech. But Amit, can you also elaborate on what the historical growth rates really look like for SWC?
It's a culled-out business from L&T. So it's not been a company by itself. We can send you some of the growth rates as you move along. But just to keep in mind that they started in 2016 with zero revenues and have delivered about 1,000 plus crores last year. So in about 6 years' time, they've been able to build a 1,000 crore business. So you can imagine the kind of growth they have done. They've been largely in incubation, building a lot of capabilities that they've been doing.
So who are SWC's biggest clients, and are there any working capital issues at the moment?
I can confirm no working capital issues. Third, in terms of biggest client, they work for various governmental entities today. So T-Fiber, Tanfinet, BSNL, as well as various metros, if I may. They've been working with, including Mumbai, Ahmedabad, etc. So across India, they've been working.
Amit, could you comment a bit on the valuations? Because you are paying 800 crores for a company whose top line is almost 1,100 crore rupees. So how were the valuations arrived at?
We used independent auditors to come in and cross-check, give us a band of evaluation. L&T also did the same. We followed the guidelines as stipulated by governmental entities to arrive at a fair market value. We paid 0.7x of revenue trailing 12 months. And again, that's part of the release that we've already made. So we believe that this is and about 7.5 times EV to EBITDA is what's been paid, and we believe that's what has been guided to us, etc. And we arrived at that price.
And considering that this is a material related party transaction, was this the only available option for you?
We did look, and what we wanted to do was, we were clear we wanted to improve our footprint in the telecom 5G domain. We recently, if you remember, we bought Orchestra Technologies about 2 years ago. It was in the same area, but they provided us, if you may, the middle part, because we have the OEM part, they provided us the middle part. And now what Smart World brings to us to scale, right, is the architecting part that other companies do not have. Second, we also looked at the ability to turn this around. And given where we were and given where our clients were and what they were looking for, we thought this was a very sweet acquisition from that standpoint. Third, L&T comes with it with an innovation culture. When we do an acquisition, we want to make sure we're able to integrate things with not just scale, but speed as well. And this allowed us the ability with a common culture for us to be able to do that. So look at this as a scale and speed acquisition more than anything else at this stage.
Okay, you are looking at this as a scale and speed acquisition, but Amit, you've used a large chunk of the cash that you had available on this. Around a third of what you had available has been used on this acquisition. What does this really mean for future dividend payouts, and what does it mean in terms of acquisitions as well?
We are cash positive. We continue to generate cash every quarter, every month. We have positive cash flows. So I am confident that dividends should not get hit, right? I don't have a problem there. We also continue to look at further acquisitions. If there is something beautiful that comes along that is worth it, that makes sense from a technology standpoint, because when we look at an acquisition, we look at market potential, we look at technology, we look at ability to grow and expand, and finally, can we integrate, right? Because you have to be able to do that to take this forward. So we will have all those options open. We also have various assets on our books, as you're aware. So I'm not worried about that at all. I do think this is a good move at this point of time. So it gives us the ability to run through next year and be able to grow and show the results and change.
Okay, we will leave it at that. Thanks a lot for joining in. Well, for the market, it is holding on to the lows of 17,770. Remember, this was the December lows as well. So for now, the market is holding on to that. Let's see how it goes. It's recovered a tad bit from the lows of trade. Let's slip into a break. On the other side, we'll discuss what's buzzing in the commodity space. Manisha Gupta will be joining in. Stay tuned.